everyone, welcome to the channel. So this will be my first video for our channel here, and this is just going to be a very gentle, very beginner friendly slow flow. This is a great practice for those who have never done yoga before. I'm going to go a little in depth with some of the poses, how to do that proper alignment to keep yourself safe. You can have a couple blocks if you have those at home. If you don't have blocks, that's fine. You can use some large books. You can use cans of beans if you'd like. Not on the rolly side, of course. But yeah, also feel free to bring a blanket. So it can just be a simple throw blanket that you have. It can be a towel. And that should be all the props you can bring if you'd like. But we're gonna go ahead and get started by connecting with ourselves and with our breaths. Actually, before I do that, first video nerves. I do just want you all to be mindful that if anything feels uncomfortable, if you're feeling a pinching sensation or a lot of discomfort to come out of the pose, yoga should be just a place for you to really breathe, be with yourself, connect your mind, body, and spirit. So if you're not breathing properly or if anything feels painful or strained, please stop doing it. So let's begin our practice with connecting to our breath. So come to a comfortable seat of your choice. You can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling, you can sit up on a block or your blanket as I am doing. And we'll go ahead and I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. So just noticing your own natural breathing, where it's coming from, whether it's coming from, you feel it more in your stomach, you feel it up in your chest a little bit. Just take a few moments just to notice your own breath. And if your animals are anything like mine, they like to chew on the yoga block. So as you're noticing your breath, we'll begin to start connecting our breath with our movement. So gently bring your hands down by your sides, palms facing up. We're gonna inhale, bring our arms up towards the sky, flip our palms facing outwards, and exhale, bring your arms down. Turn your palms facing up and inhale. Turn them outwards and exhale. You can keep your eyes closed for this. You can have a gentle gaze. Turn, exhale. Inhale. Turn, exhale. Do 3 more rounds of this, following your own breath. Again, noticing how you breathe. Noticing if you're having any clicking or crunching noises. Not painful ones. And on our last exhale, we'll keep our hands down by our sides. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, crawl our left fingertips over to the left side of our mat. And exhale, just making sure you're comfortable, making sure your right hip isn't coming up off of the ground, so you can again bring yourself out if you need to. Kickstand your hands by tenting your fingertips, and inhale, bring your right hand up and overhead just for a gentle side body stretch. Your eyes can stay closed or you can have that gentle gaze down. Breathing here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring your right hand back down to the mat. Inhale, crawl those right fingertips over to the right hand side. Again, being mindful your left hip isn't coming up off of your blanket or the mat. And inhale, gentle side twist to the right. Breathing here. Inhale, come up, have both your hands up towards the sky, and on your exhale, Bring your palms together, draw them down into your heart, Anjali Mudra. Alrighty. So continuing on with those, we're gonna inhale, bring our arms up. Maybe you begin to integrate looking up. Exhale, palms together. Follow your hands down to your heart. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Perfect. We're going to do a little bit of some neck stretching now. So inhale, look over to your right. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, look over to your left. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, look down. I was going to go right, but look down. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, look to your left. Exhale, bring it back to center. Oops, not down, back to center. Inhale to your right. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, look down. Exhale, roll your right ear over to your right shoulder. Stay here for a beat, feeling the stretch in the left side of your neck. You can do gentle upward, downward movement, really seeing where you're tight, staying where that is. Inhale one more time here, and exhale, down back to center, chin to your chest. Inhale here, exhale, roll your left ear over to your left shoulder. Making some gentle movements, just noticing, continuing to breathe. You will hear me say that quite often. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, look up, and shake it out. Shake out your body. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a twist now, just to get a little bit of movement in our back. So what we've been doing, inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand on top of your right knee or on top of your thigh, wherever is comfortable for you. Creating length, starting with your core. You're gonna inhale. Exhale, turn to the right, bringing your right fingertips down and back behind you. You can keep your hands tented or your fingertips tented and just breathe here. Noticing this twist, what it does for your back, where you're noticing it. Last inhale here, and on your exhale, slowly release. Moving on to the other side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, right hand to the top of your left thigh or knee. Inhale, creating length, starting from your core. Exhale, turn. Bring your fingertips down and back behind you, keeping them tented up like so. So you're not like crunching into your lower back. You want to keep yourself upright, strong, proud. Breathing here into the twist. Twists are a really great thing to do in the morning. They're a great thing to do when you're feeling sick. They have a detoxing effect. Last inhale here, folks, and come back to center. Moving on into our tabletop position. So getting to your hands and knees, however is comfortable for you. I'm going to move my blanket aside. If you do have a blanket and it's a little bit harder for you to be on your knees, you can certainly pad your knees with your blanket. You can also pad your knees with the mat like so. So you can kind of roll your mat up a couple of times and pad your knees with your mat. So whatever you need to do, go ahead and find what's comfortable, what's best for your body. Alrighty, and in our tabletop pose, we want to make sure we're in proper alignment. So we want to be mindful that our hands are shoulder width distance apart. You want your shoulders directly on top of your elbows and then directly on top of your wrists. You want your hands to be spread, your fingertips to be spread out wide, and putting the pressure into your fingertips and not dumping that weight into your joints. So again, we want to make sure we're protecting ourselves, so don't dump your weight into these joints. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can come up onto your knuckles like so. This will also help to strengthen your wrists so that eventually you can be on your hands. So that's our top part. Moving on to our midsection, we want to be mindful that, again, we're not dumping into our lower back, so really engage your core. It can be helpful to do this by making a shh sound. You're really going to feel your navel drawing to your spine. So making sure you are engaging your core in this position. With your lower half, you want to make sure your hips are above your knees. You also want to make sure that your shins are parallel to the long edge of your mat, with your ankles in line with your knees. Feet should be flat to the mat, but if you need a little bit more stability, you can certainly kickstand your toes like so. That might not even be the right word, but anyways, so however you are, find yourself in your tabletop position, and we're gonna go ahead and move into a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So starting with cow, we're gonna drop our belly, open up our chest, and gaze up. You don't want to crank your neck up. You want to gaze up with your eyeballs. Work those eyeballs out. This is your cow pose. Take a full round of breath here, just noticing what it feels like to be in this posture. Great. On your next exhale, you're going to go ahead, start by tucking your tailbone down, rolling and arching your back up. Beginning to tuck your chin into your chest, kind of like a cat getting scared. And this is your cat pose. Take a full round of breath in this pose, just noticing how you feel. Now we're going to move in and out of those poses with our inhale bringing us to our cow pose. Moving slowly, exhale, cat. You might feel some cracking, you might feel some ligaments moving, I guess. I don't know what that all is. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really take your time with this movement. You're waking up your spine. You're bringing some lubrication to your joints, to your just spine in general, which is healthy. It's good for you. And again, that's the whole point of this channel, to go slow. So take your time with this movement, really enjoy it, really notice. Do one more round of each. And on your next inhale, come back to your neutral tabletop position. Remember your alignment, adjust as you need to. We're gonna go ahead and tuck both our toes under, bring our hips towards our heels. You can stay here if you're already beginning to feel a stretch in the soles of your feet. If you're not feeling that stretch and you have some blocks, you can certainly bring some blocks to help bring the ground up to you, staying here so that the foot stretch isn't as intense. Or if you need a little bit more, feel free to come up with your hands on top of your thighs. So this is going to be where you really feel that foot stretch. Stay here for a beat. You can shake out your wrists, do a little neck circle, look from side to side, whatever you need, especially for my beginners here. This can be really helpful to just, not put so much weight. We're learning to develop the strength to hold our body weight up on our joints if we're not used to it. So let's come back into our tabletop position. Checking your alignment, taking time to make sure your core is engaged. And from here, we're gonna go ahead and tuck our right toes under, bring our right foot back behind us, making sure that our right leg is in line with our right hip. So we don't want the leg out to the side or completely over here. You wanna make sure this is in line with your hip. Again, bringing pressure off of your wrist by making sure you are putting the pressure into your fingertips. Go ahead and rock back and forth, getting a stretch in your right ankle, your right calf, bringing some movement into here. Make sure you're engaging your core. And don't be me and drop your head down either. Make sure your chin is slightly tucked so you have a straight line starting from the crown of your head to the base of your spine. Last inhale here, and on our exhale, whatever works for you, bring your right leg or right foot in between your hands. So you can gently crawl that foot up a little bit. If you need to just come off of your wrist and do that, do so. Meet me here in your runner's lunge. Now for a runner's lunge, a couple things in terms of alignment we want to be mindful of. We want our right knee directly over our right ankle. We don't want our knee to be, splaying out like so. You really want to start with a lot of yoga. You want to start with that core engagement, which is why it's important that you all kind of do your best to be mindful about that. So that core engagement is going to help with a lot of getting into postures, getting out of postures, but most importantly, keeping you safe. So here in our runner's lunge, our core is engaged, our knee is directly right over our ankle. We have a 90-degree angle here. For my folks who are newer, you don't want to be dumping your chest into this, putting that weight onto your knee. So use those tools, whatever it's blocks, those can of beans, not on the rolly side, but on the flat side. Maybe it's just tenting your fingertips so that you can bring your chest up, proud, shoulders down and back, and a slight chin tuck. This is your runner's lunge. You'll start to feel that stretch in the front of your left hip, maybe the outer edge of your left hip. Be here for one more breath. And exhale, come back to your tabletop position. So find your alignment on your inhale. Exhale, bring your left toes back behind you. Take a couple of breaths to rock back and forth, getting that stretch on your left side now, remembering your alignment, remembering your core engagement. If you need to switch to being up on your fist because maybe you've had enough, please do so. And give one more inhale with your rocking, and on your exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. So again, remember your alignment here. Left knee over left ankle. Use your tools. Shrug your shoulders down and back. Have a proud chest, engaging your core, and tuck your chin slightly for your runner's lunge on the left hand side. Notice if one side is tighter than another. That is usually the case, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we want to work towards, minimizing those imbalances. We want to be balanced. That's always my goal, at least. So, inhaling here. Exhale, come back to tabletop position. So we're gonna go ahead and just take a resting pose here for now. Again, this is a very beginner-friendly pose, so I'm not gonna be doing too much with you all. So bring your feet together, knees together. Begin bringing your hips down to your heels. As you're doing so, slide your hands down by your side, flipping your palms so that the top of your hands are going to be resting like so. We're going to come into our balasana, also known as child's pose. If your forehead doesn't fully touch the ground, or if it does fully touch the ground and you're not breathing properly or having a proper length in your breath, please use any type of prop to, again, bring the ground up to you. So yoga isn't about getting into the pose. It's about being able to breathe in the pose. And if you can't breathe properly, you ain't doing it right. So bring anything to lift your head up and take a total of 5 rounds of breath here. Breathing in, and out. Two more rounds. On your next inhale, slowly come up. Set your props aside and come back into tabletop position. So we're going to go ahead and take 5 rounds of cat and cow. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last round. Lovely. On your next inhale, meet me in tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your left toes under, slide your left leg back behind you. Option 1, you can stay here with your toes down on the mat. Option 2, you can engage your core and begin to hover that left leg up. If you're hovering your left leg up, test it out. You don't have to be as high as me. What's important is that you are parallel to the mat. So again, we don't want to be doing this or doing that. We want it to be parallel. You want your toes to turn down so that you are in alignment with your hip. So if your toes are turning out, do your best to just point them down to the mat. Feet should be flexed. Pressure in your fingertips should be evenly distributed onto each side. Breathe here and exhale. Bring it in between for our runner's lunge. So remember your alignment here. We're only going to be here for a breath. So inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, start to bring your hips towards your right heel and begin to bring your left toes up towards the sky. This is just going to be a quick little hamstring stretch here, so you're really going to feel it in this posterior of your left leg. Feel free to bring yourself up onto props if you are, having a hard time with your hands down on the mat. And also to notice how I kind of shifted to the right. Make sure your hips are in alignment. So make an effort to shift your hips back to center. This might have you notice the sensation in your hips more. So be here for one more breath. And then inhale, roll your left foot down, back to the mat. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, tabletop position. Starting again on the other side, inhale, find your alignment in your tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your right toes under. Bring your right leg back behind you. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, begin to engage your core to lift your right leg up. Make sure your toes are pointed down to align your hip. Pressure should be equal in both fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly bring that in between your hands for runner's lunge. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, begin to bring your hips towards your left heel for our hamstring stretch. If you find your hip is jutting out to the left, make an effort to just correct that. Come on up. Use your props. My right hamstring is definitely tighter than my left, so, you'll notice that. You'll notice these things, and you'll adjust as to what's appropriate for you and your body. One more breath here. Exhale, roll that foot back down. Inhale, runner's lunge with good alignment. Exhale, tabletop position. Great job, folks. Tuck both your toes under, sit back on your heels, and shake your wrists out. So we're gonna go ahead and start making our way down to the mat. You can swing your legs to one side, it doesn't matter which side, and come to your seat. Bring your legs out in front of you. Take the fleshy part of your bottom and scooch that on over so that you feel rooted and grounded with your hip bones essentially on the mat. Feet should be about hip width distance apart, having a flex with your toes pointed up towards the sky. We want to have a lifted and straight spine here. So again, we're engaging our core. We're not just kind of slumping in here. So, bring your shoulders down back behind you, engage your core, have a slight tuck of your chin to your chest so that you do have the straight line from the crown of your head to the base of your spine, and bring your hands down beside your hips. Fingertips will be facing towards the top of the mat. We don't want to be locking in here. We're simply just placing ourselves here, grounding ourselves into our Dandasana. Have a gentle gaze down your nose and stay here for 10 breath cycles, noticing the stretch in the front of your forearms, noticing if you're getting a stretch in your back, breathing here. Being with yourself, your body, grounding yourself for the day, whether you're doing this in the middle of the day, the beginning, or the end of the day. It's never a bad thing to ground. 3 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, allow yourself to fully exhale out the mouth. So you can release, and we'll simply just go ahead and find our way onto our backs. So you can scoot yourself up onto your mat. I'm just moving my props aside. Okay. So coming down onto your back slowly, you can bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Maybe if it's comfortable and safe for you, you bring your forehead to your knees. Keep on doing that rock, but you can certainly keep your head down onto the ground. From here, we're gonna just come into a quick figure 4 shape. So plant your left foot down onto the mat, bring your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. We really want to make sure we're pressing down from this right hip. If you're feeling the stretch here, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can certainly bring your left leg up as if you were pressing your left leg on an imaginary wall. And of course, if you need a little bit more, you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. If you are interlacing your fingers like so, use your right elbow to push into your inner right thigh, as well as using your right thigh and making sure your right hip are still pushing out. So having a bit of that opposition from this move here as well. Breathe here for 3 breath cycles. Just noticing the sensations, the stretch. This is really great for folks who sit a lot. Last inhale. Exhale, release, bring it all down. And prepare for the other side. So making sure your right foot is planted. Let's go ahead and bring our left ankle to the top of our right thigh. Again, making sure you're using your left hip to really drive that knee down. And if you're feeling sensation here, stay here, or you can inhale, Bring your right foot as if it were pressing up against an imaginary wall. Still making sure your left hip is pressing that knee down towards the ground. Stay here, or again, you can interlace behind your right thigh, making sure you're using that left elbow to push against your left inner thigh. Be here for 3 rounds of breath. The side is tighter with my hips, so how silly our bodies can be. Last breath here. Bring everything down to the mat, release. We're just gonna go ahead and bring our feet to the outer edges of our mat and just windshield wiper our knees from one side, letting them fall. Inhaling, bringing them up, and going and letting them fall to the opposite side. So do this for a couple of rounds, just releasing your lower back, getting more of a stretch as well in your hip flexors. I like doing this. This is very nice stretch. Also good for my folks who sit a lot. Whether it's for work or because, you know, who doesn't like to sit? Alrighty. So start moving into your Shavasana. And you can slowly allow this motion to just allow your feet to come off of the mat, stretching them out long. Taking up some space here, so bringing your arms out towards the side. Your palms can be facing up if you're feeling good, comfortable, wanting to receive anything from the universe, or if you're feeling a little bit more shy, needing a little bit more grounding, you can flip your palms down to the ground. So wherever you're at, be here, allow your body to naturally relax. Let yourself be here in this time. I'll lead you through a brief full body check just to help with relaxation. Starting with the top of your head, notice if you're having any tension in your head, whether it's starting from your forehead, the upper parts of your cheeks. Maybe you are clenching your cheeks or your jaw. Allow your tongue to release and really drop down in the base of your mouth. Maybe in doing that, you part your lips a little bit. Notice the back of your neck and the front of your neck, if there's any tension there. Imagine just sending a little light, a little bit of warmth to help release that tension, traveling to your shoulders, your collarbones, your biceps, your triceps, and forearms. Notice if your hands are tight and allow your fingers to naturally curl in as you relax. Notice the front of your chest and the upper back body. If there's any tightness or discomfort there, send that light, that warmth to those areas. Notice if you're clenching in your stomach and allow yourself to just relax. Maybe you're doing this in the comfort of your own home. So no judgment anywhere. Let your body do what it needs to do to relax. Notice if there's any tension in your lower back, the front of your hips, the side of your hips. Maybe you are clenching your bum. Go ahead and release that. No need to clench here. Notice the tops of your thighs, your hamstrings, your kneecaps, the back of your knees, the front of your shins, your calves. Move your light down towards your ankle, the tops of your feet, the bottoms of your feet. And notice if you're clenching in your toes and just let yourself relax. Be here for about 3 to 5 minutes. This is really important for you all to just reflect and allow yourself to relax from your practice. I will leave you here, so please let yourself to just relax. Take this time for yourself. You all have done great, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.